Hey folks, welcome back to another Paul Master video. So, quick video, I guess, going over these three, right? The 2.5 year anniversary units over here, and yeah, it's another one of these select scouts again. Pay gems if you have the extra coins. You could definitely go for them. They're also still pretty good, right? I wouldn't say it's better than the other banner though. I'd say this one's probably a bit more worth it, right? Unless you have all of them and you don't have them, then obviously that would be the other way around, right? But you know, assuming you don't have any of these, I'd say the other one is probably a bit more worth it. And but again, this one's still good though. This one's still good. Just it's like again one equivalent of one multi. You get yeah, you get to pick one of these, and you get like 15 unit multi, which in of itself isn't that bad, right? But yeah, they don't have boosted rates, just regular rates, so don't really expect to get, you know, the extra one right over here. But just ask for these units, right? Because it is a select scout, you get to pick again, which is cool. So for these three, I feel like still hasn't changed too much, right? From when they first launched. Right, I still think Annie May has the most I guess versatility and usage rate of all three of these, right? Like Annie May's usage rate is kind of crazy, right? If you compare it to again the other two, and yeah, like she's just really good. You basically you use her like in so many different psychic teams. Obviously very powerful, although I guess now she might have a bit of a decrease over there because of Tapu Lele, but still I find a lot of scenarios where I'd rather use Tapu Lele, but still a lot of scenarios where I'd bring out Anime instead, right? Just because especially if you are running more like special oriented teams, right? Anime is still, you know, great with that. And also she does have the team special attack buff, so if you need that, right, if you're running like a, I don't know, Mewtwo or something, right, who still needs special attack buffs, right, that would be really nice. And you know, obviously she works very well with the likes of something like Singsu Brendan, right, or whatever, right. It's not the only one, but that's the perfect one, right. They're you know, counterparts, both characters and Pokemon. So like that part's cool. But yeah, she's I'd say of these three still probably the one to really go for. Although I guess there's like what 4-5 psychic train units now, right? Like real, I guess just real ones, because there's like Bead who sets it once off of like the max move, and like normal Deoxys, which has it for like one sync cycle, right? But yeah, she's still really good. Nothing too much more to say, right? Very good. Special attack debuffer over there. You get free moves on your Mist Ball in psychic terrain. Although it's not as good as, you know, some of the others, because you do have to like throw one out there first, right, for Mist Ball. But you know, after that you'll keep on getting them until psychic terrain is gone. Right, her Sync Nuke is very powerful as well. So yeah, just good personal damage, good team support. And with Psychic type, there are a lot of big like Sync Move countdown units, which obviously she could also help with her propulsion as well on that. So she's just a really great fit. Powerful unit on a individual level, powerful on the, you know, in terms of the context where, you know, the units that she supports, right, all that stuff. And it's just a really great unit all around. Again, probably the most usage of these three. But I guess just because, you know, maybe folks just have like a lot of psychic units, right? And, you know, might not think, okay, do I need another one? The answer is probably yes, because of high score events now. But if you really don't care for that, that's fine too, right? Again, you just pick whichever one you like. All three of them are still really good, right? But in terms of like Raihan and Skyla, I guess they are a bit more scarce in terms of these type of units, right? Skyla is still the only flying zone setter in the game, unfortunately. And Annie Skyla is a bit of an interesting unit in terms of like how good she is. Very much heavily depends on which stage you're fighting, right? Because she's not very good in something like Master Mode, right? Yeah, in fact, she's, yeah, I mean, it's not like, okay, I guess that's a bit too harsh. It's not like she's not good, but she's just not as good as she would be in something like the Legendary Arena, right? She's very, very good in Legendary, well, in certain Legendary Arenas where Flinch is very powerful because of the staggering on Air Cutter, right? So that's really, really nice in those case scenarios. And the fact that she has the speed buffs. I mean, again, speed buffs are always good, like in most places, but it's just more like exemplified in Legendary Arenas, right? And also things like mini potions all, right? I'd say mini potions all is much more, again, the effect is just magnified in Legendary Arena in comparison to Master Mode and stuff, right? So yeah, she is definitely very, very, very nice for Legendary Arena. But again, Master Mode wise, you know, Master Mode is more of a quick and dirty sort of a mode, and she doesn't really excel too much there. As a, you know, tech zone setter, she doesn't provide much DPS herself. Unfortunately, she does have a pretty good nuke though, so you know, it's, again, she's not like nothing over there, right? She's still fine, right? So she does have that, which is definitely appreciated, especially if you're running Annie Steven as your flying type unit there. But you know, I feel like in a lot of case scenarios, if you have the gauges, it's probably just better off to run just run like just double up on the flying type damage there, right? Like you could run like a Liza plus Ethan, or Liza plus you know, Pidgeot even, right? Something like that might just be better, right? Than running Flying Zone necessarily for Master Mode. But yeah, she's still very good, right? Again, especially if you're big into Legendary Gauntlet, she is amazing in Legendary Gauntlet, right? Definitely really, really good unit there. But you know, outside of that, I'd probably just wait for like the next Flying Zone unit instead, maybe, right? Unless you just desperately need it now, and you're like, your flying types are just really struggling, then still go for it, right? Because again, you know, she's still not a bad unit by any means. So as for Anniversary Raihan, I feel like he's a consistently underrated unit, just cause like, just, you know, unless you're like a Raihan fan, I feel like people just don't really think about him at all. But when people do think about him, right, when he is on anyone's minds, and you know, you look at the grid and you look at his kit, and it's like, huh, every once in a while, bring this guy back up, and it's like, oh man, this guy got a lot of really, really good stuff. And he does have a lot of really, really fun stuff, right? Obviously he has Sandstorm, he can set Sand, he could set Sun, right? He's got these max moves. He gives super effective up next, right? And weather, he gives I believe special move up next, right? As well with where was it? Max Team Smarts, right? Yeah, he's got that. He has a pretty good sync as well. Personally, he has pretty good, you know, well, yeah, pretty good flinch on Twister with Aggravation 2. On top of all that stuff, right? He has propulsion on Sandstorm if you need that, right? Just a bunch of like random, really nice stuff. Mind Boggler, debuffed opponents, special defense, like this. Yeah, I feel like he's like an epitome of like a tech, like a very techy tech unit, right? Just does a lot of different, just random like tech. Oh, I guess more so like 50-50 between, well, maybe not 50-50, but like 75-25 between tech and support stuff, because he does again have a lot of support stuff as well. And yeah, solid nuke. I guess the only like real big knock on him is just like you know, he's not that great of a tank, and he's like not that great of a like DPS or damage dealer, right? So there's that. So you can't really use him tank, can't really use him to carry your teams like DPS, or at least contribute to it like meaningfully outside of like I guess that one max move, right? And if you're syncing with him, obviously that's nice, but I feel like he's consistently underrated unit. But I don't know. I'd recommend him if you really like fun. You want fun units. You want something, you know, different to freshen up your box and all that. I'd highly recommend Flygon. I don't know. I like it. It's a fun unit. It is definitely it's a very, very, very fun unit, right? So yeah. Again, all three of them are really, really nice. It just really depends on what you need. I don't think it's that much of a, you know, you can't really call it a mistake, right? If you're going for one over the other. Again, they're all good. If you were to make me pick, I'd say probably Annie May would be the first priority, right? If you don't have, you know, just assuming like just on their own merits, maybe whatever that means, which isn't it's in of itself a very useful factor at all. But you know, Annie May, and then I'd probably pick Raihan, and then Skyla. But you can also maybe flip Skyla if you really down bad on flying. But again, it just really depends, right? It really depends. Yeah, I feel like all of them are fine. I'll do a pull on this one because I only have Annie May at 4 out of 5. So I do want that 5 out of 5 on Annie May, which would be nice. Even though her 4 out of 5 5 out of 5 grid is not that good, right? But it's just it's a factor thing, I guess. Okay. We did get a spark, so I guess there is a chance we could get an extra one here. No, it's Sonya. Well, there's still more units to pull, but again, the rates are just so incredibly small. Don't really rely on. Also, it wouldn't really do anything for me because I only need like one more copy, so I'm pretty sure I have the other two at 5 out of 5, right? And the only one I don't is May, so yeah, wouldn't really do much for me. I guess I could like pick up Drasna at the end here. Oh, they don't have Drasna in here. I guess not. Well, there it is. Yeah, she's the only one I don't have 5 of 5, and now I do. Now I do. I took my own advice, I guess, and I got myself a maxed out Anniversary May and Mega Latias, which is good. Yeah. Again, it's not a big deal though, just because the 5 of 5 is not all that, right? It's just, yeah, you're already spending your energy elsewhere on this grid, so there it is in all her glory. All right, well there it is, folks. That's me on this one. Hope y'all enjoyed. Guys, think comments down below, like, share the videos from the channel for more Palmas content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh yeah, forgot to do the EX roll for red. All right, let's do that for the next one. All right, see you guys.